Hi everyone, Melissa here. In today's video, I want to talk about affirming and how to do it, what is it, and why it works for manifesting. So if you're questioning affirming, I think this video will really help you. Okay, so I just want to preface this video with this is how I successfully manifest. This is what I found works for me, and it's worked for my clients. So this is just from my experience with affirming, okay? So what is an affirmation? An affirmation is a decree. You are decreeing a new truth when you affirm. So an affirmation can sound a few different ways. Some people like to affirm by saying, I am, it is, he is, she is, they are. Some people like to affirm by saying, I intend. Some people like to affirm by saying, this is just going to go this way. Okay, so affirmations can sound a lot of different ways. The way I have the most success with affirmations is if they sound like they are the way that I talk to myself. So sometimes it'll be a variation of all of those things I said before. Sometimes it will be, I'm in perfect health. Sometimes it will be, they are perfectly healthy. Sometimes it'll be, oh, everything's going to work out just fine. So it's just decreeing within yourself something you have decided is true about yourself, about another person, or about something, some kind of circumstance or situation, okay? So you are always affirming. You're affirming to yourself constantly, all day long, every day. A lot of times you'll hear that called inner conversations. Mental diets are comprised of affirmations. What are you telling yourself all day long about yourself, about your circumstances, about other people? That's all affirming. That's all decreeing within yourself. That's all deciding things are true about things, okay? So that's why you can incorporate new affirmations into your mental diet, into your daily inner conversations, and that will help you to experience your manifestations in your physical reality because you are assuming a new truth. You know, affirmations introduce a new truth to you. And so when you as Neville says, an assumption, if persisted in, will harden into fact, right? So when you affirm something, you're decreeing a new truth. You assume that that is true. You accept that assumption as true. Boom, it shows up for you to experience in your physical reality. So I want to give a couple examples of this. Had a couple client successes this week I would like to talk about. So the first one, this client was waiting to get a session with me and ended up purchasing my affirmation bundle that is communication, affection, and attention. How to manifest the affirmations to manifest those things. So this client started using some of those affirmations and ended up hearing from a friend they hadn't heard from in many years. And now this person is consistently communicating with them. Okay, why did that happen? Because they started incorporating affirmations about what is true now, about who communicates with me, the way they communicate with me, why they communicate with me, why I get communication, etc. So start to change what you're believing is true about what you want, about your desire. Look at your current reality and use that as feedback to determine new affirmations. If you're seeing something you don't like or you want the opposite of it, start to affirm for the opposite of it. Start to affirm for what you want instead. Start to decide that what you want instead is true right now, and then it will show up for you. Another recent awesome success I've heard from a client is this client is manifesting back in SP. There is a third party involved, and the SP is currently in a committed relationship with that third party. So this client started using some affirmations I gave them to change their story they were telling themselves about what is SP thinking about them, what does SP want with them, SP's communication, what is their value to themselves and to SP. There's a whole bunch. But anyways, they were in no contact. So shortly after they started changing their story, SP started following them on social media. And then SP started liking their social media posts. And then SP started communicating with them through social media and flirting with them through social media. So it is changing because that person is changing their inner dialogue. They're affirming a new story is true about the circumstances with SP. And then now they're getting evidence in their 3D of their new affirmations, of their new accepted truth. So you can use affirmations to change whatever stories you're telling yourself about your desires. Whatever reasons you think you can't or don't have what you want, flip those around and create a new affirmation that supports what you want instead. And you probably will not believe your affirmations at first. That's okay. Your brain likes repetition and your brain likes persistence, right? So we're changing a thought pattern, we're changing a story. You have to persist in those new affirmations and, repeat them whenever you think about the current circumstances that are not matching what you want yet. So really, affirmations are an awesome tool to help combat contrary images or contrary thoughts, things that do not match your desire, things that make you feel like you can't or don't have what you want, things you're thinking that contradict your desire being true right now. So use affirmations to your advantage, and try to catch yourself throughout the day. This is where the mental diet is so important. If you start to get triggered, catch yourself and, think about, what was I just affirming to myself that made me feel this way? I was affirming something I didn't like, right? Because I don't feel good about it. So I'm going to start to now affirm something better that makes me feel better, that aligns with what I want. Because remember, you're in control here. You are the operant power in your experience. You're directing your experience with your thoughts, whatever you're assuming and believing as true all the time. Your reality, your experience in the 3D is shifting constantly based on what you're assuming as true, what you're accepting as true always. So start to be open to new possibilities. Start to be open to the possibility that something new could be true about something you're experiencing that you seemingly don't like. Because you are giving the meaning to every circumstance. You're deciding. Here's another example. I just thought of this. Another client was experiencing being ghosted, and this was in a professional setting. So they were currently looking for a new job, and they had applied for some, gotten some feedback from some employers, reaching out, trying to coordinate next steps, but then it just kind of went silent. And so the client was like, feeling ghosted, like, oh, well, now I haven't heard from this employer. They're probably interviewing tons of other people. I probably didn't get it. I'm never going to hear from them again. So they got all excited that they got contact, but then they got all depressed because they didn't hear back again. Now, that's an opportunity to start affirming for what you want to be true instead. In that moment, that client is identifying more with the unwanted story, which is, I'm not chosen, I'm rejected. Okay. So flip that around with affirmations that support what you want instead. So we started working on affirmations that were, oh, they just got really busy. I know I'm going to hear back from them. Something must have happened where they just couldn't communicate with me at this time, but I know I'll hear back. They really want me for this role. Okay. I'm an exceptional candidate. They reached out to me. They need me more than I need them. I'm definitely going to hear back from them. Okay. So they started shifting their story to that. And sure enough, a week went by and this employer reached out again. And it was totally a scheduling thing. They apologized for the missed communication, and they wanted to schedule a new time to meet up. Okay, so they got back on the calendar with this client. Guess what happened again? The employer went MIA. They stopped communicating. So again, this client is shown a seemingly contradicting circumstance. Choose what you're going to accept as true in that moment. So they started back on the affirmations. They need me more than I need them. They really want me for this role. They're definitely going to reach out. Something came up. Maybe I can't understand what's going on right now, but I know this is going to work out just fine. I'm just going to stay positive about it and know it's going to happen. Okay. This is what I'm believing is true right now. They still want me at this job. Okay. So Then a few days later, they heard back from the employer again. And this time it was, oh my gosh, you didn't hear from this other person yet? Oops, sorry, let's figure out what's going on. So see, they could never have predicted that they were supposed to hear from this other third party, but they held on to the fact that the assumption that they were not being ghosted, and so that had to show up for them. So when you affirm, the key is persist in affirmations that support what you want being true right now, and it will show up for you. But the key is, and I really have noticed this with my own manifestation journey, when it gets tricky for me, or when it gets uncomfortable for me, is in the part I need to persist the most. It's when I'm really still trying, my brain is really still trying to hold on to that old story, and I definitely don't believe my new affirmation, and it just feels so much more comfortable to stick with that, oh no, it's not going to work out, or I didn't get it, or it's not happening, right? But that is when persisting really pays off. If you can get over that wall, it's smooth sailing from there, and your manifestations will show up super quick. So push through the uncomfortable, gross feeling in your stomach with those new positive affirmations that align with your desire. And if you will persist in those, no matter what is or is not showing up currently in your 3D reality experience, you will get your manifestations. You will. Okay. So I think that covered everything I wanted to say about affirmations. I did see one question. I think this was on the YouTube comments. What about just affirming, blindly affirming, constantly all day long, affirming, right? Look, how manifesting works is whatever you believe is true, you're always right. So if you believe that blindly affirming 24/7 is how you get what you want, that's going to work for you. For me, I like to be deliberate in my affirmations. I like to catch myself when I'm thinking contrary and flip it in that moment. And then I go about my day. So I don't spend 24 hours constantly affirming for the one thing that I want. I just do it as thoughts come up and about my desire. And just, if I think about it when I'm doing something else, I'm going to affirm this is what's true about it, So do what feels right for you. Do what feels good to you. It's always, you're giving everything meaning, and whatever you're accepting is true in every moment. You are always right. So start to affirm for what you desire. Start to affirm that what you want is true right now. You are the person right now who already has the job, the health, the wealth, the SP, the house, whatever, the car. Okay. If you have questions about what stories you're telling yourself, need some help figuring it out, need some help creating some affirmations specifically to your situation and circumstances, I'm here for one-on-one coaching. I would love to meet you and help you. And I think that's it for this video. So if you guys have any comments about videos you'd like to see, please throw them in this YouTube comments on this video, because we love to read those. We do pay attention to those. And I intend this video helps you, and you have a great rest of your week, and I will see you in the next one.